back to Flex Candle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. I'm Flex, and today we're diving into a full top-down analysis on Bitcoin. We're going to start from the higher time frames, work our way down to the lower time frames, and check to see if we find any good setup. Remember, this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. All right, guys, let's start off with the weekly chart. And starting off here, yesterday we had this candle that closed, which was an engulfing red candle. See wicks on both sides. The 21-day moving average is currently at 94,830. Right now, it's 4:51 p.m. Eastern time, and the price of Bitcoin is at 103,677. You can see we went up a lot since yesterday. Yesterday, we were seeing prices of even like 98K. Now, you can see that the stochastics are rolling over, and we're on the way down. And yesterday, I was talking about a bearish divergence, and finally, the RSI picked it up here. As you can see, we do have a bearish divergence. Now, if you guys remember, I have this in a flag, and I was like, I'm not going to take the flag off yet because you never know if we could get back into the pattern. And look at today, how the weekly candle is looking. Obviously, it just started, but we are getting back into the pattern. This RSI is pointing up. I don't expect a drastic move up, but I do think we might make it up to maybe like around 106,000 or so before we go down. It's very weird because there's a lot of war news going around. I think Iran just attacked like a US base or something like that, and instead of things going down, they're actually going up. So sometimes you can't even go by the news, because we fell to like 74K over tariff news. We're talking about almost World War III, and we're all the way back in 103,000. So it's like pretty ridiculous. We go by that. Now on the other time frames, we could see that on the 6th day, the stochastics kind of look like they want to come back up here on the 6th day, and we have this red candle with a wick pushing up here. On the 3-day, the stochastics still have room to go down. We still have to like roll up here, but I'm liking how we're above the 21 moving average again on the 3-day, and that's at 102,837. So we're over almost like $1,000 up. Now on the 2-day, we haven't regained the 21 moving average yet, but the stochastics look to roll up. I do see a move going up. I just don't know how high we're going to go up because a lot of these stochastics are low. Look at the daily, we're getting a green engulfing candle. Of course, we still have 3 hours before this closes, so we need to see what is going to happen here, but I'm liking the stochastics. They're low. It looks like we're on the way up unless we drag here, and it looks like we're headed for the 50-day moving average, which is at 105,000. Now I don't know if we're going to reject once we reach that, but it's better than nothing right now. We're keeping away from this 200 moving average, which is at 95K. I still have a feeling like we might be seeing 95K soon, but again, they're not gonna let everything go straight down because then it'll be too easy to call. They'll get you nervous. At 98K, you start doing a short. Okay, we're gonna go to 95, 92. All of a sudden, you're at 106. Now, when it's at 106, you're like, okay, now we're going to go to 110, 112, and then that's when they're gonna drop it on you, more than likely. Now, again, the 22-hour chart, stochastics look on the way up. We're trying to get above the 21 moving average here. So right now, we're looking a little bit positive. Overall, I'm still kind of bearish on Bitcoin, neutral to bearish, but I feel like we are gonna get a move. Look at the 12-hour chart. The stochastics are on the way up too. We're still below the 21 though. On the 8-hour, we're starting to get up there on the stochastics. We got above the 200, and we're trying to get above the 21. This is starting to get bullish here for me. We're getting like a V-shaped recovery. Now on the 6-hour chart, we're above the 21 moving average. Stochastics are on the way up, so this is looking good. On the 4-hour chart, you remember, if you see yesterday's episode, the big head and shoulder pattern where we hit it exactly. And this is why once you get the measured move, it's good to get out of your position and just wait and reset and get into another play later, because if you would have stayed in this thinking it's going to go down, look how they reversed it on you. Now all of a sudden, if you was in a short, you'll actually be losing now. So now we're above the 21 and we're touching the 50 moving average. If we could get above this 200 moving average, which is at 106, things will start to get bullish. I still, again, wouldn't be too confident because look at here, we got all the way above the 21 and the 200 all for nothing, because then we ended up dipping down. I would need big strength. Like we would have to get to like 114 for me to get bullish again on Bitcoin. Even if we hit like 110, 112, I'll still be a little weary that we might fall down, especially with the summer months coming. But anything's possible. All of a sudden, like I said, Iran and the US, they do some type of a deal that's going to make the markets move up. We head over to the 1-hour chart. This is starting to get bullish. We're above all the moving averages except for the 200. The 200 is at 104,219. If we could get above this will be the first first thing that we need to do. We could get above the 200 on the hour, then it'll start being easier to get above the on the 4 hour, and so on and so on. This right here looks to me like an inverted head and shoulder here. Shoulder, head, and we just got a shoulder here. So the measured move to this would be more or less here, which says we're going past this pattern that I have here, this flag pattern, up to like 105.859. As you can see, this is in a larger flag here, and it looks like we'll poke out a little bit here if we do this measured move. So this is probably the next move that I'm looking for, this inverted head and shoulder to play out. We still do have room here on the stochastics, as you can see, to play out this move. Now once we get there, I don't know if we will be getting rejected. This is starting to get toppy, so we might just break the 200 moving average, and hopefully we could maintain that. That's going to be the first thing that we need in order for the bulls to get back on track. 15-minute chart is starting to get a little toppy here. We're seeing bearish divergence as well. I'm just happy that we're back in the range of 103,000. Again, we did break 100. We were there for a little bit. We're back in. Hopefully we could maintain that range I was talking about before, 103 to 110. That would be perfect, and then we could see if we could move on from there. So overall, guys, I'm just expecting us right now really to possibly make it up to this 21-day moving average on the daily chart, which is at 105,250. Maybe we get a little higher, and then from there we would have to assess and see what's happening. I think that at least we'll make it to the top here before we fall down, but we have to keep aware that on the weekly we do have this weekly bearish divergence, and the stochastics here are toppy, so we have to keep that in mind. I wouldn't expect a gigantic move, but I would expect a little decent move happening. All right, guys, so that's the breakdown. If this gave you clarity or a setup to watch, do me a favor, like, drop a comment, subscribe, and if you have a stock or crypto you want me to go over, drop it in the comment section. This is Flex Candle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. Catch you on the next chart.